This is the world's first gaming PC that has to be registered with the Federal Aviation Administration. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how and why. See, everybody knows the faster your gaming PC is, the cooler you are. So I built the fastest gaming PC on the planet. I even slapped in a blazing fast Samsung 990 Pro NVMe SSD. At the time of recording this, not another gaming PC in the world was cooler. This was as good as it could get. But I thought to myself, what if I could take it one step further? What if my gaming PC had a superpower? If you want to build a gaming PC that can fly, you're going to need a few things. So here's the ultimate guide on how to build a gaming PC that can fly. First, you're going to want to build a gaming PC. So pick out a case, make sure that it's light, and make sure that it has handles on it. That way it's designed to be carried. You get bonus points if you put a Samsung 990 Pro in it, or rather, superior loading time. Last thing you want is to be stuck at a loading screen while you're airborne with 4 minutes of flight time remaining. Once you've got your gaming PC, the rest of this is aviation equipment. First, you need a flight controller. This is gonna communicate with everything else we build onto the gaming PC. It makes all the necessary calculations to keep the PC balanced and in the air. You probably need a LiDAR module. This is gonna keep the PC at a consistent height because you're gonna want it to hover in place. A GPS module. This will help it lock in position along with the LiDAR module so it doesn't drift while it's in the air. An air unit, if you wanna see the perspective of your gaming PC as it flies. You're gonna need some propellers to generate the lift along with 4 motors. A little box of motors. Electronic speed controllers. These communicate with the flight controller to regulate the speed and direction of each motor and maintain stability. Then we're gonna need a pretty beefy battery along with a power distribution board so that I can connect everything together, give power to everything. A telemetry module. This will send back critical data like battery life. And then a transmitter and receiver so that I can fly my gaming PC. Now this isn't a mini PC for gaming with your little bro at 720p. This thing can game at 4K, game at 8K, it can DLSS its way to 16K, and the Samsung 990 Pro will handle all of that quickly and reliably so you can have more gaming on your flying gaming PC. But also, 26 pounds. Okay, so I need to be able to generate 26 pounds of lift. Okay, but I gotta come clean. Some of this stuff here, we're not actually gonna use. Some of you probably already know a lot of this is a lie. Because to generate 27 pounds of lift, these little props aren't gonna do it. Teeny tiny little propellers. These are for like an FPV drone. And I need, these ones. 27 pounds will require 4 18-inch propellers. I'm a big dude. That's my arm. All rotating with enough RPM and torque to generate and maintain 6.5 pounds of lift each. This is not a bunch of motors. This is one motor, dude. That is a big motor. So with a 10,000 mAh battery, that's 3 minutes of flight time. We need a lot bigger. They all have a C rating, which is how fast they can discharge. 23,000 mAh at 25 C. This thing can power like 15,000 watts for like 3 minutes. Like that's how fast it can discharge this battery, which is insane, dude. So after doing all the math, the propellers are gigantic and scary. This is now a flying sword. The motors are super expensive and huge because they have to have enough torque to move the propellers. Kilovolts basically equals lower number better, according to my research. Power distribution board's rated for like 400 amps. I need this one. But it gets wilder because 27 pounds is just the gaming PC. Once I put all this stuff on it, it's like 50 pounds. So it's not just 4 giant motors and 4 giant propellers. It's 8 of them. Designed for 8 of them. And the propellers are even bigger. Even bigger one. It's gonna be a monster. You know, there's always a moment in these videos where the project is like, I know I'm in over my head, right? That moment usually happens way further in the video. No freaking way. So I just needed to find a way to get all of this onto my gaming PC. So where did I start? From a sketchy used drone frame on eBay, because that's where any good project starts, with sketchy used parts from the internet. It's a little banged up. It's a little banged up, maybe. The idea here is that the banged up sketchy drone frame that I got from some random dude on the internet can bolt to the top of the really cheap, lightweight PC case that I got from Amazon specifically because it had a bunch of holes in it. And then if I did all the math right, that'll be a gaming PC that can fly.
This thing's gonna be stinking nuts, dude.
Wow, when I say it out loud, it sounds a lot less likely to happen. So there's this thing that people do that I couldn't help but think about the entire time I was building this. See, there's this weird thing that happens where humans sometimes think something's impossible, but then after someone does it, suddenly everybody can do it. I think about this frequently. It first hit me when I was 13. I was watching the X Games, and there's this competition where some guys on a dirt bike with a limited amount of run-up try to see how high they can jump the bike. Like, how high can they go? And so in 2010, they got about 34 feet high, and that was the gold medal. In 2011, they got 37 feet high. That was the gold medal. But see, everyone said 40 feet is impossible. You can't get to 40 feet with the amount of run-up you have, with the amount of horsepower the motors have. Like, you can't even land without getting hurt. It was impossible. But then suddenly, one guy did it. He hit 40 feet. And then get this, the guy right after him, 40 feet. And it wasn't even over. More and more riders were hitting 40 feet, which 30 minutes ago was impossible. You know, at one point, the smartest minds in the world thought that running a mile in less than 4 minutes was just humanly impossible, physiologically impossible. It won't ever happen. It's like we insist on this self-fulfilling prophecy that we can't go any further until there's one guy who just believes they're all wrong. Or maybe he forgets that the experts say it's impossible and stops fixating on the limits and wonders how high he can go. See, there's a term for this. It's called the Bannister effect. And it's like, we know about it. There's a term for it. Why do we do it? Why do we do this? So the obvious train of thought is, then what do we think is impossible right now at this very moment that one day will just be common sense? Of course we can run a mile in 4 minutes. Of course we can fly. What are you capable of right now at this very moment that you say, no, not me, man. I can't run a 4-minute mile. That's impossible for me. Other people can do that. Why do we insist on things being impossible when time and time again we prove to ourselves that we're wrong? I mean, any old random dude with a few $100 and a laptop can build an aircraft? So to answer the question, I don't know. Why do we run in circles and see who can do it the fastest? Why do we get on a dirt bike and see who can jump it the highest? Why did we ever need to fly in the first place? We all act like we're old and mature, and then at the same time, we're running in circles for fun. And this was pretty much the face I made for the rest of the build. Once all the aviation equipment was configured, I just had to connect it to my gaming PC so it could fly. I was stressed about the center of gravity. The center of gravity is really important because if there's a bunch of extra weight on the front because of the power supply, then these front motors have to work extra hard, and they might have to work outside the rating or right up to the rating, which would make them really hot, and it would drain the battery faster, and it would be scary. Lots of this is scary. My first thought was to use 60mm aluminum standoffs, and I would just put a bunch of them on the bottom of the thing. But then I got them all installed, did a little research, and I was real sketched out, man. Like the shear strength and aluminum, and like the threads can rip out, like sketchy. Now, I knew I was gonna have to install the CPU cooler with some standoffs. That way I could thread directly into these holes on top of the gaming PC. So I went ahead and disassembled it, and then I put some shorter standoffs on the bottom of the aviation equipment and just lowered it on there to see if I could bring it all together. Theoretically, I lower it down. I was basically just hoping some of the holes would line up. It was hope.
First leg off. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Whoa.
So theoretically, they've all fallen into place. This is crazy. Okay. Ooh, I need it. I hit it with my knee.
And somehow, as surely as I am editing this video right now on a Samsung 990 Pro NVMe SSD at an extremely brisk pace,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
all of the bolts lined up with the random Amazon case,
I can't stop saying oh my goodness.
and I had a mathematically sound mounting point for my payload. AKA, I built a gaming PC that can fly.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like it.
You like it?
It's cool, babe.
Altogether, it weighs like 45 pounds.
What if it drops it?
Yeah.
No, really.
There are a few final steps you have to complete before you can fly your gaming PC. Step 1. Underestimate the amount of time it will take to program it by 3 days.
Custom cables.
Wow, that's pretty low. Oh my goodness, dude. Someone click it for me.
Step 2. Connect a transmitter so that you can actually control it.
Everything's beeping.
A day to get this connected, but we are connected.
How do I switch the roll and pitch channel on?
Step 3. Set the motor direction and calibrate the ESCs.
It's alive! Have to check the direction. Oh, baby! Off the quad type X, let's freaking go! Clockwise. Wow. Off to a bad, counterclockwise. Oh my goodness, dude. That could crash the whole thing.
Then put the propellers on. Say a prayer. Make sure you're really, really far away from anything with limbs. Oh, and register your gaming PC with the Federal Aviation Administration and make sure you're a Part 107 commercial UAV pilot.
GPS, battery.
And it's time to fly.
Oh my goodness. Arming now. It's armed. Give it some throttle. Spinning. That's terrifying. I gave it max throttle and it's not going.
Naturally, my first thought was, it's just not making enough lift. I did something wrong, and either the propellers aren't big enough or the motors aren't spinning fast enough.
What?
But then on my second try, I got a voltage warning,
Battery 1 is critical 18.98 V used 0 mod.
which usually means the wires are too small or you have a bad battery.
Battery fail safe.
Something's causing too much resistance, making the motors not get enough voltage.
This little adapter I made, it looks like it may be making it drop like 0.5 volts, or these little adapters I got from the internet.
But the actual problem was so dumb that I actually considered cutting this out of the video. I put the propellers on with just like a picture on my phone, and it was the wrong one. This was an H8 drone, not an X8. Of course you gotta do the X8, not the H8. Dummy. So literally every propeller was on backwards, and it's driving itself into the ground. You can see the arms pushing themselves downward.
That motor turned the wrong direction. Literally the first one that I tested.
So I swapped all the propellers around.
Did I install every single prop on backwards? Yeah, that's what I did.
Then it was time.
RC should connect and then it should be ready to arm. This arm, ready to arm. Arming. Oh my goodness.
the fleeting high of motivation was gone. I had failed. I can't run a 4-minute mile. Who am I kidding? I could probably barely run a full mile. I've got a friend that can do it, but I can't jump a dirt bike. Truth is, this is just a YouTube video. When it's over, you've got to look back at reality and realize that maybe I'm not the one to do something no one's ever done before. Gaming PCs don't fly. You see, in my ignorance, I put the flight controller on at a 90-degree turn to the left, thinking that it would just know that it's 90 degrees to the left. But you have to manually go in and configure the orientation in Mission Planner, and since mine was turned to the left, in order to try and counteract the gusts of wind that were happening, it spun up the wrong motor and just couldn't balance. And so that was it. It was over. But then I got to looking at it. There were no severed wires. I was able to bend the arm back. All of the props were intact. I had another chance. Like somehow that crash didn't break anything. Even the 4090 inside was safe. So I made some adjustments. I reset and it looked like maybe, just maybe,
This is it. If it doesn't work this time, it's over.
it was gonna work. So when the video ends and you go back to real life, I think we shouldn't ask, what are we capable of? You included. Rather, what are we not capable of? Imagine getting to tell the Wright brothers, the guys who invented the airplane, the impossible airplane, to look up at the moon and get to tell them, we're not just gonna fly, man. We're going a lot farther than that. Of course, gaming PCs can fly. This video was made possible by Samsung and their 990 Pro M.2 SSD. If you enjoyed this content and would like to support the channel, please consider checking out the link in the description. Thank you for watching.
We're watching, Nicholas.
Just passing through.